We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
Trump and Harris debate, migrants overrun a small town, the loss of a Hollywood vocal legend, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump will take the stage at 9 p.m. Eastern Time tonight in Philadelphia. It will be hosted by ABC News and air live on several networks, while also streaming on ABC News Live, Disney Plus, and Hulu, potentially giving the candidates their biggest audience in the lead-up to Election Day. It's the second presidential debate of the election cycle, but the first and possibly only between these two candidates. Joe Biden's performance in the last one convinced many that it was time to replace him as the Democratic contender. With the polls showing them basically tied, each candidate will try to stand out. After staying vague for weeks, presidential hopeful Kamala Harris has finally published an issues section on her campaign website. On the eve of the debate with Trump, the vice president emphasized middle-class tax cuts, action on price gouging, support for the bipartisan border deal, and access to abortion. But Harris has left out plenty of details. For example, she says she supports an increase in the federal minimum wage, but neither her new issues page nor her campaign will say how big an increase. She has said she will let the Trump tax cuts expire, which, according to the IRS, gave tax relief to 90% of the American people. Additionally, no investigation has shown any evidence of price gouging, and the border bill has been opposed by the Border Patrol, saying it will do nothing to help the situation at the southern border. The U.S. Department of Justice said an illegal immigrant has reached an agreement to plead guilty to charges related to stealing a U.S. citizen's identity to vote in multiple elections and fraudulently obtain an American passport. Angelica Maria Francisco, a 42-year-old undocumented individual who most recently resided in Russellville, Alabama, is facing a 9-count information filed in federal court for false claims of citizenship in connection with voting, false statements in application for a United States passport, use of a United States passport obtained by false statements, and aggravated identity theft. A plea agreement was filed as well, indicating that Francisco has agreed to plead guilty to all 9 counts. U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Alabama, Prim F. Escalona, and resident agent in charge, Joseph I. Wisawati, of the U.S. State Department's Diplomatic Security Service, Atlanta resident office, announced on Thursday. Francisco is accused of assuming the identity of a U.S. citizen in or around 2011. Prosecutors say she used the false identity to get an American passport in 2011. She then allegedly used the passport to travel to and from her native Guatemala. Using the same identity, she allegedly also registered to vote in Alabama in 2016 before voting in the 2016 and 2020 primary and general elections. Residents in Ohio are fuming about the cultural clash between locals and Haitian migrants at city council meetings, demanding the city take action on the issue. Thousands of Haitians have arrived in Springfield since the COVID-19 pandemic, and residents have been pointing to an uptick in crime, mayhem, and car crashes due to the massive influx of new residents. In a town of 58,000 people, about 20,000 Haitians have arrived, according to city officials. I see what's going on in the streets, and I see you guys sitting up there and comfy chairs and suits. I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something, said Anthony Harris, age 28. These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're flipping cars in the middle of the street. And I don't know how, y'all can be comfortable with this. Finally, James Earl Jones, the award-winning actor who overcame a severe childhood stutter that caused him to barely speak and grew to have one of the most famous voices in cinema, died Monday morning at the age of 93, according to his representative at Independent Artist Group. Across a career that spanned 8 decades, Jones appeared in celebrated and beloved films such as Field of Dreams and Coming to America, as well as in Tony Award-winning Broadway productions, including August Wilson's Fences. But he was best known for performances in which he used only his voice, from Mufasa of Walt Disney's 1994 animated blockbuster The Lion King to Star Wars villain Darth Vader. David Prowse wore the suit, but Jones's voice made the character. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.